Yeah. We don't mix things up very often here. It worked in game 1. He seemed very comfortable on the matchup, but that does mean we will also get denied a gangplank, which is also a rare sighting here. And yeah, the Tahm Kench pick was definitely interesting. I think the Zyra would have been pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe he saw game number 1. He's like, Zyra maybe not so good, and we're gonna shelve that one. But that would have been also an interesting decision, as Faker can play pretty much anything he wants. He decides to go for a safer kind of counter pick here into the matchup up against LeBlanc.
Yeah, and we'll see what ends up happening. SeolHaeOne Prince, I think, are in a much more difficult position here in Game 2 than they were in Game number 1. Mickey is now going to be on the back foot inside of the matchup. We'll see what Hybrid and Secret can do. And the bottom side, Aphelios is very good. Yeah, I heard that too.
I think I just heard Volibear behind us. He didn't get picked, but he might be here in the studio.
That sounded like someone dry heaving after getting murdered in a horror movie or something.
Wow.
That was, or like they were
very descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your job, I guess.
Yeah.
To describe things. Very in-your-face comp here for T1. Let's see if it does work out as we're going to hop on to game number 2. See if it goes any differently. There was a surprising amount of action, actually, after the beginning of the game. That was relatively slow in game number 1. That was more of a SP style of amount of kills and action, I would suppose. But T1 kind of just took the opportunity, as SP was kind of just giving it to them in many spots there in that first game.
Well, starting things off, it seems like we have the Demon Hunter Olaf skin.
Demon Hunter Olaf?
Yeah. He's got the green...
He doesn't use a bow.
Get out. Alright, Caitlyn and Draven is selected by Hybrid.
Yeah, that's what you start with. You actually can't change your guns in the beginning. And they're going to go for a late invade, although it is spotted. And they're going to do it anyway. They have Olaf, so they kind of can just dictate whatever they want to have happen here in the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're even going to take the Raptors, too.
I'm actually curious why everyone that plays the skins with a green chroma elects to use the green chroma. I genuinely am...
You can't see them in the bush.
Well, that's why I picked Malphite, the Shamrock Malphite.
Yeah.
That's what you do, for sure.
Hide on bush.
You try to play against the opponent's site, you know?
Yeah.
And if they're a lost site like me, it can be super effective.
Do you ever lose track of your champion when you're playing Shamrock Malphite?
No.
Okay, that's good. Not that amount of lost sight, I guess. Faker hits level 2 first. And Mickey's desperately trying to get level 2. There it is. Chains are going to come in, but not even going to fully channel. Gank does not work out, and Cuzz has just pretty much taken everything, whereas Flawless only got the red buff, so
yeah,
very interesting. Now he's trying to invade and potentially gank mid again. This is very coin flippy.
Oh yeah,
at best.
He is neck deep in holy water right now, trying to fix up whatever it is that he's.
Aftershock is going to come in here. They don't have the damage.
Yeah.
Flawless has 5 CS.
The thing about this is that even though to some people this might be like, wow, they got Faker's flash, they forced him off of a wave, the RNG on the minions, but also just the minions in general, it's in favor of Faker. So he's just going to be able to teleport right back into the lane, full HP, full mana, and meanwhile Trundle is just getting completely torn apart by Olaf, who is just happily clearing away his jungle. And so Flawless having a bit of a predicament here.
Yeah, that he put himself into.
Yeah.
I wonder what the comms were like. Was it Mickey calling for it and saying, hey, we can set this up? Or was as Flawless really trying to push the issue.
We'll have to see what they managed to get out of it. Faker was only able to get a Fairy Charm on the recall, along with the control ward. Flawless finally does get the Gromp. And not a whole lot of action is probably going to unfold again, given that it is T1. So we're not going to have a lot of chaos. No one's going to manipulate their lanes relative to Cuzz. He's just going to keep farming. Laners are going to be fine. And that's how it's going to go, I guess. So, one of the things that I wanted to ask you is, do you know all of Aphelios' guns' names? Not the actual names, but...
Oh.
You know.
I thought you were going to ask me because I was so ready.
Yeah.
For the real names, not the champion names, right?
Yeah, the champion names.
The champion names of his guns. Well, it's Caitlyn Draven, right? We already saw that.
Yeah.
You already kind of gave that one to me.
I did.
That was kind of like the freebie.
I threw you a bone there.
Well, this gank isn't going to happen. We have Jinx, which is the Infernal.
Yep.
We have Kog'Maw, which is the...
Yes.
And then the Gravitum is Varus because it's purple.
Yeah, that is purple.
100%, right?
It's purple, and because it roots, it doesn't stun.
Yeah,
So
it's not like
a little bit of a difference. Yeah.
The autos, though, do slow when you have it out.
That is true.
So it's like a little bit of ash
Ooh.
as well. This was a nice little trade by ikssu.
Oh, well. This lane is looking very different right now.
Yeah, looks much more even. I mean, I suppose Canna is going to get ahead on CS here as long as he perfect CS's it, which I would expect. The attack speed, and yeah, he's going to get all those. So he'll be slightly ahead, but he took a kind of errant trade there.
Yeah.
As Faker does have Aftershock. He's going to survive for quite a long time. Can he get through the damage, though? No, he cannot, as Flawless just barely going to avoid that claw and get out of there with a flash to survive for first blood.
Yeah, and so they end up getting the first blood onto the Trundle, which is a really big deal because he needed it. You can see how far down he was. He was down 5 camps to Olaf. And now Cuzz is going to come in here, shove everything out. And the reason that he's being reserved is he doesn't know where Trundle is. And so even though Mickey looks like a free meal, it's not going to do so. Cuzz finally dings level 6. Flawless is 4.
Yeah. Yeah, Cuzz was able to sit mid and eat up about a wave of CS too. So he is sitting pretty and kind of just run at whoever he wants. I think he hit level 6 before Faker too, which is kind of interesting.
One more time. Now, this wave is pushing in, and Faker just wants to get the crash and then probably reset, and then the next wave would come back into him, and he could get a recall off.
The claw hit him, he was dead. But he flashed out of that one. Would have been a nice trade. Speaking of nice trades, Lissandra doesn't really care about the LeBlanc most of the time. Cuzz is going to start up on the streak here. And now effort is going to be called up to help push, it looks like. And offer him a little bit more safety up against the tent that Flawless is setting up in the mid lane.
And not a whole lot happening, as T1 are back with the gold lead. Again, 300 gold in the lead right now. So, Mountain coming up next. Very big.
You ever think about, are you good with impressions? You do like different impressions and stuff? I'm not very good at them. But I was wondering if you had ever considered doing the Lissandra voice.
The Lissandra voice? What?
The KR localization of the Lissandra voice. I think it's pretty nice. I'm a big fan. I just, maybe if you were good at impressions, you might consider doing it.
You think Lissandra is doing pretty good here?
Yeah.
Right now? Just pushing in the wave over and over. You think it's funny that...
Kind of feels like I'm watching a tennis match, in more than one way. This is interesting. They're going to spot him here. Try to burst down the Trundle. As Subjugate does come out, though, he's much more difficult to take out, but still, it will be enough damage. As even the Frozen Thrall is going to come out here. Didn't quite get the damage down. They're going to try to get this one as, okay, LeBlanc, Mickey able to get in there, steal it away, and the top lane is pushed in. Ikssu could come down, but flashing on top of him. Mickey over the wall here is not going to get autoed down by Faker just yet with Illaoi coming here. Faker wants to save his mana for an E if possible. He's going to flash the chains, and he's just going to be able to walk away from that one. A nice little invade by T1.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we'll end up seeing, Secret comes in, takes a little bit of a lick of Cuzz.
Little bite to eat.
Honestly, I'm not sure Tahm Kench would want to do that right now. Olaf just did a lot of work.
Yeah.
He's probably, you know, he's very, very sweaty or something. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, generally not the best time to go for that maneuver. Would have to agree. Cuzz is going to come in here and try to steal this one away. It's going to be a smite fight. Down it goes to Cuzz. And he's actually going to try to chase down Flawless, who is quite fast, but there is a blasting plan. Meanwhile, a play up in the top lane. TPs are coming in from Mickey. They should be able to shut down Canna here. Even Flawless wanted to get a little bit of that action as well, but it's not going to occur as only Mickey will come up and help pick up the kill.
Yeah, and Mickey's putting in a lot of work this game, managing to try to shore up some of the problems that SeolHaeOne Prince is actually having. So far, he's 2 assists right now, as ikssu yet again going for the mindless trades over the 100+ free gold minions right in front of the turret.
Faker unfortunately not able to get any of that gold, but Cuzz will of course pick it up. And this bottom lane has been kind of left wanting for quite a couple of waves. As here's the invade again.
Yeah, and you can basically just see Mickey, I mean, he's trying to come over, and he doesn't really know seemingly what to do. It's a very unfortunate situation. And then he jumps in, he steals the blue. And then you can see that because Illaoi has the priority. Okay, I guess not.
전령 먹고 있다. 봐줘.
He's eating Herald, he's eating Herald. Look at this.
내가 먹었다. 강타 없어졌네.
I got it.
개꿀.
Yeah. Super honey.
Super honey.
Super honey. Well, actually, the translation is not for broadcast, but yeah.
And you can see what Canna was trying to do here.
Yeah.
He was trying to really cover for the play that was happening on the jungler's side, but he gets TP'd on and collapsed on with some more super honey up in the top lane. As this has been going much better for ikssu, although he does miss that one.
Yeah. And we got 20 seconds until the mountain, but it looks like Mickey and friends are making their way up to top lane, perhaps wanting to put Wukong in Disneyland. Not totally sure.
He's going to get ulted here as Test Spirit goes in. Mickey gets knocked up, and he's going to get killed under the turret. That was, I think, a misplay by Mickey to get that close to the Wukong, who didn't even have flash, and gives his life on the 3-versus-1 dive.
And so this is a very big win for T1 all around, because SeolHaeOne Prince, they commit 3 members to top lane to get the kill onto the Wukong, and then they're going to get the turret plates, they're going to get the Illaoi ahead, but they're going to give up the mid-last turret plate, First Blood turret gold over to Faker, and they're going to give up the Mountain Dragon. So at the end of the day, it's just not that worthwhile of a trade. And unfortunately, Mickey dying is also quite disastrous for them. They're still only down 500 gold.
Yeah. Take a look at this replay.
Yeah. And ikssu comes in, drops turret aggro. He had one more turret shot that he could have taken, for sure. And Mickey ends up getting hit here. So let's take a look at this by Canna. So right here, ikssu, he can tank one more turret shot, and it would have been very big. But Canna tried his best, ended up getting the 1-for-1 at the very end.
Yeah. It was multiple things. ikssu could have tanked for longer. We could have seen LeBlanc trying to stay a little bit at range, but also it was a good play by Canna to time his second knockup specifically for when Mickey was getting in there. Mickey, of course, couldn't see him as he was in the decoy state. He was trying to get that AoE damage as well. I think Mickey might be dead meat here. The Proto Belt comes in, and there's that last auto. Change in direction. Like it's a homing missile. And that is going to be another kill on to Mickey.
Yeah, and it's very hard for him to really play at this point in the game. The early game's been so accelerated, and LeBlanc is not going to really function under these circumstances super well. And so T1, they've managed to make everything quite okay as it stands. Down to the bottom side of the map, I mean, it's just been going blow for blow inside of laning phase, as Teddy does have a small advantage right now, but all they have to really do is just wait for the Ocean Drake to come up, and then they'll threaten Soul Point, and that can be the end of the game. Everett's going to flash away.
He's still going here.
Yeah, Varus ultimate.
Grabbing him pretty good.
Ooh.
That is going to be another dredge line on the wall. And it turns out Nautilus is also pretty good. Top lane no longer a cakewalk for the Monkey King that Canna is playing. He's down a bunch of CS, and we got a big zoom out now. Flawless moving down here to the bottom side. We don't have any teleports right now, but they're coming up pretty soon.
And we'll see what T1 is looking to do here.
Cuzz is in the brush.
Yeah, Cuzz is in the brush. This is just a spectator thingy-majiggy.
That's one way to say it. We're running down Flawless, and Mickey decides, I'm going to get in there. And I don't know if they can burst him down, actually.
No.
T effort is going to run away. There should be distortion up again. And so Mickey was just trying to distract them, it looks like. Kind of worked.
Well, Teddy just shoving in bot wave yet again. Meanwhile, up in top lane, Canna is still just sitting there. Definitely not as strong as he was in game number 1. And so it really looks like this is just a different tune of the game for this particular matchup. And that means that Illaoi is going to have a lot more potency, but that Wukong isn't going to be as oppressive in the team fights. And so we'll see what ikssu can manage to do with that, because his team is really going to need him to deal lots of damage and play a very big part, because Illaoi is really the key piece along with Aphelios. It's very hard for T1 to just hard engage into both of those champions. He'll end up getting melted. And so we'll see how they manage to take the team fights. The dual lockdown with the Lissandra and the Nautilus is very good.
Ooh. Yeah, that chain doing a quick 180. And a better trade by Mickey that time around. Ocean Drake just 2 away for T1 that are ahead in the game. They are not going to let this one go without a fight. I'm curious to see if ikssu can come in with a great TP and make a big difference in this one. But we might not even have a normal fight here, as Secret nearly going to get picked off. As there comes Canna. He's going to get in the back line. They finally take away that Tahm Kench. Now Canna's in a really awkward spot. He's going to go for the second knock up here. And he's staying alive for quite a long time. There's the heal. He comes in, and Canna's not going to die.
And you can see Hybrid, he just can't even get into the fight.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Doing a good job of not hard engaging.
Yeah.
It's only Canna that went through.
Oh, switches over to Kog'Maw, back to Draven. And we'll see what he ends up doing here.
TP.
Yeah. He has Draven selected.
I think T1 might need to let this one go. With Mickey TPing in, he's going to try to get in there and really try to force the issue. Ragnarok is used, and that will be the Ocean Drake going the way of SP. So they'll be able to pick up a dragon of their own.
And so right now T1 did just stunt themselves a little bit with this unfortunate series of events. And so we'll see what ends up happening at the next dragon fight. Olaf does have Warmogs. He does not yet have the passive enabled. Still going to have to wait on another item in order to pick that one up. We'll take a look at how this all transpired. So, Secret just gets he gets locked up, very low on HP, ends up flashing away. Canna goes in with the ultimate, but really you don't even need to do it. You just let him flash away and everything is A-okay. He gets saved over here in the end. Kalista managing to use the ward to hop into range, gives him the heal. Mickey wasn't able to find anything. And then immediately after this, you can see they just neglected the Ocean Dragon. They gave it over, and so it's only a 3,000 gold deficit. Faker does almost have the Ludens completed. And Aphelios is really the scary part, as well as Illaoi. So, said that a couple of minutes ago, and it's just going to get more and more true as this game continues to go on, because Lissandra is about to get stuck. And this is a thing that happens to mages in the mid-game when they have to itemize these like utility items, where it doesn't convert as well into the mid to late transition as some other itemization paths.
Yeah, because they only offer utility. They don't offer certain percentages or scaling, or just flat AP might be better in some circumstances in the later game. T1 is just trying to push whatever advantage they have, but they're going to quickly back away. It's one thing you'll generally notice from T1 is their macro is pretty clean. And ikssu's remaining a problem. We don't really see Canna, getting in his face, having fun. He's getting tested on his spirit. Canna just has to kind of, sulk behind the turret for most of this. So there is that winning lane this time around for SP.
And 2.5 minutes until the Ocean comes up. Hybrid. Just clearing out more and more minion waves. Stone plate completed on Tahm Kench. Faker is going to be able to get that one. That's the real mission.
Yeah. Faker's definitely one of those players that loves to min-max little things like that. I remember I was watching him play Veigar on stream, and he would just never auto, or I think it's his W, is the thing you call from the sky, right? He would never use that on minions. He would always sit and wait to Q them, so he can get the bonus.
Yeah.
Always about the little things.
Sometimes you don't want to take those to two extremes, though.
Yeah.
You know, the people that play Nasus and they're like, I'm getting my stacks, and it's like, you're at 780, like what?
Yeah. You want to join a fight? Like, maybe? Nasus, very good in the mid game, a little bit less so in the late game when everybody gets really tanky and there's like a million different items. So, take that to heart, Nasus mains out there. And we're kind of just sitting on our hands here until we do have the Ocean Drake spawning. Nobody really wants to make a move. Ikssu isn't really pushing the issue. He's not hard pushing the lane or anything like that. So I think we will just have to wait for the setup for this dragon here. T1 still in a good spot in terms of gold. But I think that, as you did mention, those two champions can be a real thorn in their side once it does get into these big team fights.
Well, 40 seconds until the Ocean, and we'll see what ends up happening, because it looks like Illaoi is just actually going to go straight into the Spirit Visage as the next item. And that's sort of bewildering to me in a way that Lissandra does not deal obscene amounts of damage, and there's not a whole... Olaf's dealing true damage, Wukong physical, Kalista physical. The Spirit Visage just seems out of place compared to Death's Dance. So, a little bit surprising. Trying to understand why this could be the itemization path, and I'm really struggling to. I guess as a counter to the Grievous Wounds, because you get the amplified healing, so it helps a little bit against the debuff.
Yeah, I guess so, but it feels like you're kind of doubling down. As we're getting a bunch of sticks into that dragon. That's going to be a nice killer. Slows up a lot of the Mickey, though, trying to get in there and immediately just gets burst down. Make that 5v4 now on the fight. Aphelios doing some crazy AoE damage, but they're going to get onto him in the back line. He's going to get gobbled up there, but then eventually goes down as 4v2 is, of course, going to favor T1. And that forced engage from SP is not going to go too well.
Yeah, I'm really unsure what is going on with some of their team fighting, but T1 just ends up walking away with that very easily. I mean, Faker ends up going down, but he has the teleport available if they would need it, which they're not going to. And things are just looking very grim now at this point, because T1's Baron, they should wait. Well, it's not even going to matter. I was going to say they should wait for Faker, but he's going to be up for it, so matters not. But let's just take a look at this one more time. So, watch Mickey in the brush. Now, this is the part of the problem with Nautilus and also Lissandra, is that when you try to engage into T1, rather than vice versa, you can just get popped immediately. So, Illaoi's getting a lot of value, but so is Teddy on this Kalista. And you just take a look at what's happening to Aphelios. He actually can't 200 years this team fight. And Aphelios doesn't like when he can't 200 years. That's not a very good thing for him. So Knock Up City ends up being what happened. 6,000 gold lead right now for T1. Threatening Soul Point. And with LeBlanc going into Banshee's Veil as her second item, things are not looking very good.
Yeah, her second item. Important to emphasize that, as we're 25 minutes into the game. She's behind, and she's going for safe itemization. We talked about how that's generally not a good idea. But, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a lacking team fight there for sure from Mickey, not really able to get much done. The insane amount of damage that Illaoi did, though, that is definitely something to talk about. We see the potential of this pick every time ikssu does play it, and we scratch our heads every time that nobody else plays it. So
yeah.
Would love to see it more. We'll have to wait and see, as Faker is 11 life right now in the 1v1. He's up a level against Mickey, and they're just trying to suffocate SP with their Baron.
And we'll see what they can manage to do. They're definitely going to raise the mid-tier 2, as they did just achieve. And with a minute remaining on the Baron buff, they're going to get 2 more wave crashes. Aphelios is obviously very good at wave clearing, but it looks like Teddy's going to make his way up to top lane and then try to escort that wave in. So they're playing it about as safe as possible. And we shall see what happens at the Soul fight, because it looks like the game is going to go to that point.
Yeah. And they are playing very safe. I feel like T1 kind of, they get more bonus points from the coach based on how few times they can die in a game or something. It always feels that way. They try to avoid any kind of risky situations, especially from ahead, which I feel like, you know, will give you the better chance to win, but it's not super fun to watch. As, okay, we're just gonna try to burst down Canna here as much as possible. As, okay, gonna get gobbled up here, trying to save that Illaoi, but it's not really gonna work out too well.
And so,
oh, and Teddy's just going 1v3 right now. They're just gonna chase him down here. Effort, looking for it, just gonna go for the ultimate kill as the bloodthirsty support gets what he wants, and Teddy
that's it.
Is just gonna pull the sticks out, and in about 27.5 minutes, that will be a very one-sided game once again by T1 here to take the 2-0. Not too much else to say about this from early to mid. And we barely even got to late game. Effort's going to offer a sacrifice to the gods, have a little giggle about it down there in the bottom right. And that will be the end of that one. GG, 2-0, T1.